The old FWA back in the days was just a wicked stage, and you could just show yourself up on, you know what I mean? Just go out there and do your thing. It set standards. It changed British wrestling. Nothing had been seen like it before.
It was the first time since I can remember that there was a wrestling product that a fan could be proud of. It's not to say there wasn't good wrestling in Britain, because there was, but it was the first actual brand that you could turn to and say the FWA is a brand, and that's a company that has some really high quality wrestling.
It definitely brought a new level of production value, and the fans followed it, very closely, which is something that it's very difficult to achieve, without regular kind of television spots.
What I think the old FWA did for British wrestling was make it something exciting.
Oh, everything for British wrestling, I loved it. It was a decade ago, and I was my first British show I ever, it was the first wrestling show I ever went to, and it was just like immense.
The old FWA allowed a worldwide audience to look at the FWA, look at British wrestling, helped a lot of British wrestlers' careers, and got them out on the international wrestling scenes, much bigger stars.
Wagwan people, Lumini here, and yes, I am finally back with a video on my channel. I know everybody thought that my channel was dead. I was almost certain that it was as well, but no, we are back with a brand new concept here, back with a brand new series on my channel. And it's going to be in the game TEW Extreme Wrestling, TEW. Go to their website to find this game and play it. It's very fun. It's basically Football Manager for wrestling. I know this channel isn't based around wrestling content, but I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been playing a lot of this game recently. Big shout out to the YouTuber Curb Stomp City. He makes incredible videos in this. Go check his stuff out if you want probably a more professional look at what we're going to be doing. We are going to be doing a local to global here with the company FWA that I've mocked up. It is a company that used to exist in the UK, kind of faded out and now has dissolved, not around anymore. So we're going to bring it back from the brink. A lot of popular names came through, UK names came through in the 90s and early 2000s. So yeah, we're going to bring it back. Here's a look at our 4 titles. We've got a Cruiserweight division, Undisputed British Heavyweight division, and a Women's division. We will have a Tag Team division eventually, but that's going to be later down the line when we can sign more people and have more money to work with, basically. But yeah, Ashton Smith is going to be the guy that we take over. He used to work in NXT UK, now is retired, but he's just our avatar. Got a look here at our 3 events that we're going to be running. So New Dawn is going to be our first show, kind of our Raw after WrestleMania kind of show, and our first show here. Then we'll be moving into Ascension, which will be our monthly event that we have, and 13th Hour will be our season finales, which New Dawn will then follow that after 13th Hour. But yeah, Brand new concept here, brand new game. There was a couple of problems with recording this, so you may see me occasionally hovering around with the mouse and nothing on the screen. I didn't realise that OBS wasn't recording everything that I was doing, so I've had to re-record some bits and kind of splice it together, but episode number 2 I fixed all of that. Here's a look at our product type with British Strong Style with a mix of three-ring circus, which is what AEW use. So I want to kind of mix those together. I didn't want us to have to be kind of TV centered. Not really what I wanted, but yeah, to make this series different from your normal local to globals, because your normal local to globals are just people that have a good knowledge of the game, that play through it really well, and I am not that at the moment. I'm still relatively new to the world of TEW. I don't know if I said this before, but it is basically Football Manager for wrestling. So you sign people, you manage contracts, you manage morale, you book shows, kind of. It is basically that, but we'll work through it together as both of us, as all of us are going and we're watching and you're watching and I'm playing and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying, I'm just rambling now. But yeah, basically you can be educated along with me probably being educated, because there's still a lot of stuff that I need to learn. So as I said, in my head I had already done all of this scouting when I first recorded this, but I went back and re-recorded it so that you guys could see me actually doing contract negotiations. This is the contract that we're going to be using for everybody, and that is how we're going to offer it out in the first place, a written contract, because then with a written contract, the wrestlers can't ask for pay rises, I'm pretty sure. So that is what we're going to go for. We may occasionally have to give them more merchandise, and we might have to give them more and we might have to cover travel and stuff like that. But like I said, you guys will get used to these screens as I did. I have been playing this game a lot in the background, not recording it, but I thought, screw it, why not record it? It's something that I'm spending a lot of time on, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it and you'll come along with me. But I've gone off on another tangent, and I haven't actually added the part about what I wanted to say is how I'm going to make this different, because I'm not as well versed in this game as maybe other YouTubers out there are. Obviously they will just have like a solid game where they'll play it through perfectly, they'll manage everything perfectly. That is not how it's going to go for us. You guys have seen me in FM, you guys have seen me in FIFA. I mess stuff up quite regularly, but my little bit of addition that I'm going to add to this series is that we will be seeing parts in WWE 2K24. So I have made the roster that we do end up signing in this episode, and you're going to get first taste of it here as our first 4 signings come through. Chantel Jordan is officially signing number 1. Bad girl Chantel Jordan. Nice to have her on board. Signing number 2 is Daz Black. He looks very talented. He's got a lot of good stats all around on the board, so he should be good for us. In the heavyweight division, we've got Krieger coming in. He just looks like a big brawler. Looking forward to seeing what he can do against some of the other people that we're hoping to sign. And the second addition to the heavyweight division is Luca Di Pazzi. Sorry, third addition, because Daz Black is in the heavyweight division right now. Luca Di Pazzi, so 4 signings in straight away. We do have to build our whole roster. As you can see, we've got a bunch of other contract negotiations ongoing, but not actually done as of yet. We will show you all of them once they are done. Here you can see a couple of other companies are starting to sign some of the people we're in negotiations with. However, I think most of them are handshake deals, which won't affect us. We will still be able to sign them. We just will have to then work around their potential availabilities and stuff. So our next load of signings come in. Lou King Sharp coming in the cruiserweight division, adding to our cruiserweight ranks that are currently empty. Maverick Mayhew follows him in the door as well as our second cruiserweight to be added to the roster. Raven Creed is our second female signing. Sorry, my brain's already all over the place. To add some more depth there, and Shay Purser will also be joining the cruiserweight division. We then get our third signing of Taonga, I think it is, in the women's division. And then rounding off our heavyweight division, we do have Jackie Polo coming in as well. So how this will work is you will see me doing all the bookings and stuff in TEW, obviously, because that's where it kind of is just handled in TEW. You'll see all that stuff going through there, the morale stuff going through there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add little bits like you're seeing now with just me showing you the cause. Cause are creator wrestlers for anybody that isn't well versed with WWE. But yeah, so some of them I have made, some of them I have downloaded, and we will be adding, obviously, and taking away from the roster as and when it comes to that, basically. But yeah, so what's going on here in the background is a good time for me just to ramble, because this was on my original recording and I didn't realize that it wasn't picking up what I was doing. So I was just showing you that I was putting everybody into divisions, assigning them where they're meant to be, essentially. Showing you the roster pages as well, making sure that all of that is kind of all neat and tidy so that we can easily navigate ourselves around. We all also have to sign road agents, which are people who help with the running of matches once we book them. We'll need to sign referees as well, get all of them in, all of our backroom staff, and obviously a commentary team. We need a booking team as well, so we've got a lot of stuff to do, but we've got 3 more signings to confirm here. Laura Di Matteo, she looks really good. She's got a lot of very solid fundamentals. We've got Levi Muir coming in next. I think it's Muir, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, he will be coming into our heavyweight division. Looks like a pretty good guy. And then rounding off our heavyweight division will be Omari, who looks like a very talented high flyer for us, which adds a different dynamic to our heavyweight division as well. Here I'm giving you just a little look through at the divisions and how we've set them up. I did have Daz Black in our cruiserweight division, but I did realize that Daz Black was actually over our weight limit for the cruiserweight division, so he won't be staying in there. He will be getting moved into the undisputed division. But you see, here are our breakdowns of everything. Like I said, we do have a tag team division, but we're not going to be filling it up just yet because we are literally starting with no money. So it's going to basically be on us to work our way up and make our money so that we can sign more people before we go out of business, basically. So the next part, like I said, that I'm moving on to here is we do need to sign some road agents to come in and help with the running of matches, work with the performers to book matches. Joe Cabray looks really good. Unfortunately, he comes with the bully personality type, which means he's likely to just immediately start problems in our backstage atmosphere and stuff like that. So he's probably not a great option for us, to be honest. I really want to bring in Doug Williams because Doug Williams was in FWA when he was younger, but at the moment he would be £240 per show, which I just don't have to offer. I literally just can't afford that whatsoever. So we were still looking around, seeing what we could find here. Jody Fleisch, is someone that I really want to bring in. He again is an FWA original, someone that I definitely will want to bring back at some point, but at the moment, again, he's just out of our price range right now. We need to prioritize cheaper wrestlers that we can kind of either build up ourselves or maybe even just use on a one-off basis if they're slightly more expensive, but definitely can't bring them in. Something I was seeing a lot with a lot of the UK guys that I was hoping to bring in for our road agent role, they're all bullies, man. They're all just like really mean people, and I don't really know why. Everybody else that I really wanted, like this guy, Johnny Kidd, looks great, 69 years old, great experience, great psychology, but he's $230 a show. Or just let's not bring in currency to this. I know I said pounds earlier, now I just said dollars again. But again, Johnny Storm here, he's sleazy, which means he'll have a negative impact on backstage interactions. It was looking pretty tough Keith Myatt also looks really good. He doesn't have a negative personality trait, but the problem is he is retired at 65, and he's currently not in the business whatsoever. So if we wanted to sign him, we'd have to convince him to come back into the business, basically. Madman Manson is someone that I think looks very promising for us. He's got good psychology and experience, which are the two things that we're looking for a road agent. He also has 72 on color commentary, which means he could potentially be a commentator when we need one. At the moment we won't need one because we're only going to be running like live events. We're not going to be running TV, so it kind of wouldn't, yeah, we just wouldn't need one at the moment. But you can see here I do decide to go in for Madman Manson. Not too expensive, 50 per show. Does want his travel covered and 10% merch, which isn't too bad overall. I think I did decide here to go in for Keith Myatt just to see if we could get him out of retirement and see if he would come and work for us. We did cover his expenses, 40 at show. He wanted 10% merchandise, I think it was in the end, which it was. So we'll see if we can bring him out of retirement. There's no guarantees, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Next up, what I wanted to bring in was a couple of people to add to the booking team. I think it was that I went for next. Yeah, it was. So it was a couple of people to add to the booking team. So basically, the aim of the booking team is to generate creative points per show. You then spend those creative points on different things like different characters, different finishes to matches, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. And it can basically boost matches if you get good ones, if you get bad ones. It's basically like a form of free gambling in the game, because you basically get points to spend, and it might be good or it might be terrible. But yeah, it's a nice dynamic to have. Again, Joker Bray was in here, but he, with a bully personality, it's just not worth bringing him in right now because he is just going to wreck the backstage atmospheres, etc. So yeah, there's just no point in bringing him in. However, we did see David Rain here. He's only 70 a show, would want his travel covered, and is 10%, so it's not too expensive, basically. Keith Myatt decides that he is not interested in coming out of retirement to work for us. Here I'm taking a look at Jody Fleisch, who's 44 at the moment. I do want to bring him in, but he's 210 per show at the minute. I don't know how much longer he'll be an active wrestler for at 44. I don't think I actually ended up checking his wear and tear on his body overall. I think maybe when we scroll past it, there was a fair bit of yellow on it, to be honest. So I don't know if he'll necessarily be looking to hang around for much longer. What's happening here in the background is I'm clicking through all of his other stuff to see his match history and stuff. You can't see it because OBS is a piece of shit, basically. But yeah, as we go over here, you can see he's got very good stats, but his body is kind of wrecked, I can't lie. And then here I'm just doing a little bit more scouting to see if there's anybody else we want to bring in. Kenny Williams is someone that I am interested in for our cruiserweight division, so I do go in and offer him a contract, and he does decide to join up with us. So Kenny Williams will round off our cruiserweight division. All the calls that I've made, they're not going to be amazing. They'll be like decent quality, but I've got to make them quite quickly to be able to make them, record stuff with them, and keep recording. Otherwise, you guys know what I'm like. If I fall behind, there's just not going to be any series. Next, I decide to go and look at referees. I didn't realize this until I watched a video of this, but referees actually do have an impact on your match rating. So I was tempted to go for Steve Lineski, isn't it? Or Linsky, something like that, because he had 65. However, Niall Fox here is 61, and he actually doesn't currently have any other companies that he's working for, which means he will always be free for us. And Steve Linsky does also have the mercenary trait, which means he's money motivated, doesn't really give a shit about the people that he's working with. So I do decide to go for Niall Fox instead. Again, he's not working for anybody else. He's only 60 per show. Surprisingly, he did want a cut of merchandise, which he said based on his popularity, but he's a referee, so I don't know what popularity he thinks that he has, but hey, if the guy thinks he's popular, he's popular. And then we make it to our first show, which I book up here. You can see all the matches we have. Levi Muir first. We have a triple threat in the women's division. We have Amari versus Daz Black in the heavyweights. Chantel Jordan, Laura DiMatteo and Sadie Gibbs, who is a local worker that we've brought in another triple threat. Basically, what we're building to is that the heavyweight matches will go into a fatal 4-way. The winners of all these matches will go into a fatal 4-way next show for the heavyweight title. The women's matches, the winners of each women's match will go into a match for the women's title next show. First match, Levi Muir did get outperformed by the local talent that we brought in, which wasn't great overall. And then we moved on to the first triple threat, where we saw another local talent outwork both of the people that we had signed. Raven Creed at 30, though, wasn't too bad. 22 segment rating overall. But after the match, we would see an interaction between the winner, Tawonga, and Raven Creed. Tawonga would be celebrating with the fans when Raven Creed would slide into the ring, unleashing a brutal attack on her and dropping her in the middle of the ring before sliding out and laughing, basically. So that got a 22 rating, which is pretty nice. Before we moved on to the next match, which was Amari versus Daz Black, got 32 overall. Both guys in the ring got 33, so they're looking like they're going to be decent additions to the roster. So you can see here how it works. Basically, is the wrestling gets a rating, the crowd get a rating on how they felt about the wrestling, and that becomes the overall segment. In the third triple threat, we did decide we would hop in and take a look at just the finish of this one. Chantel Jordan, Laura DiMatteo, and Sadie Gibbs all going head-to-head. Sadie Gibbs, I was kind of interested in signing. She doesn't have the best personality traits, though, so I was a little bit anxious about bringing her in. However, it would be Laura DiMatteo here, coming out with the win with the backcracker, and she will be moving on to face Tawonga in the next show that we have for the FWA Women's Championship. So, nice little match that we got there. Tawonga maybe not performing as well, but maybe Laura DiMatteo can make her perform as well, because you can see here in the rating section, Sadie Gibbs unfortunately did get an injury, but she's not signed to our roster, so that's not a big deal. But Laura DiMatteo did get a 52 rating overall, so she looks like she's going to be an absolutely huge star for us at the moment, so we will definitely be keeping a close eye on her. We then had an interaction between Aston Smith and Jackie Polo. Jackie Polo being upset about being left out the qualification matches. Ashton Smith would tell him that he would have a chance to join the field of the fatal 4-way match, or sorry, the triple threat match could be getting made into a fatal 4-way, but he would have to win a match on the same night and then compete in the fatal 4-way should he win that match, but he may not as of yet. Krieger does get a win over Luca DePazzi before we would move on to a live match, which I'm just going to let play out in the background because this music is loud. And as you guys see there, Kenny Williams would walk away as our first FWA Cruiserweight champion. All four men having a pretty decent match overall. I don't think anyone really stunk up the place. Shea Purser was the lowest rated, but the rest of the field really doing well. Kenny Williams was obviously head and shoulders above everybody else. But yeah, that would be our show. We get an overall rating of 26, which was pretty decent. And our popularity would increase in one place. 77 people for our first show as well. Not bad whatsoever. Can't complain about that. So yeah, that is our first show booked. New Dawn is done. Next show you'll see will be Ascension. Unfortunately, again, this stuff that I'm doing in the background, addressing the locker room, injury report, financial report, didn't realise at the time of recording that it wasn't showing you guys any of this. So it's all basically a waste of time at the moment, so I'll just ramble on in the background about something else. But yeah, obviously the flow of this is a little bit off. First time I'm doing it, but hopefully by episode number 2 I'll have it nailed down a little bit more. I may even start doing these live as opposed to post-comming it how I am right now. But yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about it. If you want to do any more research into the game, if you already know the game, feel free to drop in the comments down below any advice about how we should move forward, any signings we should potentially make. I do have a objective screen that I want to complete that I will put up at the beginning of next episode, just because I want to get this episode out first and I need to get that mocked up still. So I will get that out to you guys in the beginning of next episode so you can kind of see what the aims are that we're going for. But yeah, our overall aim is to take FWA from what is currently a touring show in the UK that is being run every month to basically WWE, but it's gonna be a long haul. Basically, it's not going to be something that's easy to come by. There'll be ups and downs. We'll have to work at it quite a lot to get it to the level that we want to get it to. But yeah, this is something that I think could be interesting. You guys let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. That's basically it for this one. Next episode we will have 2 more shows on it, I believe. There's going to be a bunch more signings. We've got a bunch of stuff to still work out with the company. Maybe some more backroom staff and stuff like that. We've got merchandising things to work out. We've got finance things to run you guys through. But I basically just wanted to give you guys a little taster of what the series is going to be. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. And we can all, yeah, have a good time making these together. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this one. Please subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get notified, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.